Hi, everyone. I'm Rick Zanotti, and here we are with another Books to Help You Grow With. This one is one of my favorites. I read the book way after I saw the movie. The book was written by Somerset Maugham, who was a very good writer, and he did screenwriting. He did a lot of different things. It's about a guy, Larry. Good old Larry Darrell. The movie takes place in World War I, or during World War I, at the beginning or at the end of World War I. Larry was a veteran. He saw people die. He saw much grief and sorrow and misery. And he had somehow connections. He wanted to go back, and he came back to the States because he was in Europe fighting, and wanted to be more than just a guy at a job. He didn't want that. He wanted to find out more about life, why things happen, why do we suffer, why do things get better, what's going on with life. And what he did was, he was actually, I think, engaged to be married to a socialite whose father was very influential and rich. Rich is a key word there. And Larry didn't care if he was rich or not. He was looking beyond the rich. And he didn't want to be part of that industrialist life, the business life. He didn't want to sit at a desk or run a business. Not until he learned more about himself and life, his place in this universe, our world. So Larry takes off. He goes back to France. This was a time in which, well, let me say something. The movie was, I think the book and movie were written around 1940s. This is an old movie. It's a classic.
This story consists of my recollections of a very unusual young man with whom I was thrown into contact at long intervals. In the summer of 1919, while passing through Chicago on my way to the Far East, a friend of mine, Elliot Templeton, whom I had known in London and Paris, invited me to dine with him and his sister, Mrs. Bradley. They were giving a dinner party at one of those sprawling country clubs, which was so much a part of the American scene in the early days of the post-war boom. Good evening, Mr. Templeton's table?
Yes, sir.
Are they here?
They're having refreshments, sir.
It was redone, I believe, in the early 1990s. The redo, I didn't think was very good. I liked the original. The redo was kind of, it's okay. Bill Murray played in the original. I liked Bill Murray, but I didn't like him in this one. Tyrone Power was the actor in the original movie. And by the way, The Razor's Edge is the name of the movie. He was very good. He had the right expression for the movie. And so he goes to France to become a bohemian, to see if that helps. I didn't go too far as being a bohemian. And one person tells him, you should go to India. Go to the Far East and learn what you can learn. So he does. And he meets a guru there, a master. And the master sends him off to be alone. And in that solitude, he acquires mastership. It's really quite interesting as a movie, as a book too. And what happens is when he returns, again, he gets back together with the socialite. And there's a little bit of a soap opera to this at one point in the movie, but Larry is always going to be Larry. The book has some interesting twists and turns and has an interesting ending. It's a very good movie. Once you start watching it, it's one you probably don't want to let go. Same with the book. It's interesting. Somerset Maugham kind of looks into one person, oneself, in a deep and interesting way with alternatives. You could almost say that in the 1940s, that was the beginning of the New Age movement, where people started looking for, who am I? What am I? What am I doing here? What the heck is going on? Why wasn't I given a Rolls Royce when I was born? Important things. Take a look at this movie or read the book. Both will be very good. I'm Rick Zanotti. By the way, there's a link down there. If you want to click on it, it'll take you right there to each of those. I'm Rick Zanotti. We will see you next time on Books That You Can Grow With. Thanks.